In this video, we're looking at workers' rights or labor rights. Workers' rights are legal and human entitlements ensuring fair treatment, safe conditions, and dignity at work, covering fair pay, reasonable hours, freedom from discrimination, harassment, right to organize, unions, collective bargaining, paid leave, and protection from unsafe environments, enforced by laws like OSHA and EEOC in the US, ensuring basic standards and preventing exploitation for all employees. Key areas of workers' rights: fair wages and hours, right to minimum wage, overtime pay, payslips, and limits on working hours, ensuring fair compensation for time worked, health and safety, entitlement to a safe workplace free from hazards, proper training, safety equipment, and protection from toxic substances, anti-discrimination and harassment, protection from bias based on race, gender, age, religion, disability, etc., in hiring, pay, and promotions, freedom of association and collective bargaining, right to form or join trade unions and collectively negotiate for better terms, leave and time off, rights to paid holidays, sick leave and family medical leave, privacy and protection, right to privacy at work, and protection against retaliation for whistleblowing or asserting other rights. How they are protected. Laws. Federal, state, and international laws. Civil Rights Act, ADA, FMLA, OSHA in the US, EU directives establish these rights. Agencies, government bodies like the EOC and OSH enforce these protections. Employees can report violations to HR, unions, or relevant agencies like labor inspectorates or EEOC. Let's see, labor rights. Labor rights or workers' rights are both legal rights and human rights relating to labor relations between workers and employers. These rights are codified in national and international labor and employment law. In general, these rights influence working conditions and relations of employment. One of the most prominent is the right to freedom of association, otherwise known as the right to organize. Workers organized in trade unions exercise the right to collective bargaining to improve working conditions. Rights: annual leave, child labor, collective bargaining, diversity, equity and inclusion, economic globalization, 8-hour day, employment discrimination, employment protection, equal pay, 4-day week, freedom of association, global rights index, low-cost country sourcing, legal working age, minimum wage, neurodiversity and labor rights, occupational safety and health, overwork, paid time off, professional abuse, race to the bottom, exploitation of labor, right to rest and leisure, right to sit, sabbatical, sick leave, 6-hour day, toxic workplace, unfair labor, workers' rights to access the toilet. Throughout history, workers claiming some sort of right have attempted to pursue their interests. During the Middle Ages, the Peasants' Revolt in England expressed demand for better wages and working conditions. One of the leaders of the revolt, John Ball, famously argued that people were born equal, saying, "When Adam delved and Eve span, who was then the gentleman?" Labourers often appealed to traditional rights. For instance, English peasants fought against the enclosure movement, which took traditional communal lands and made them private. The British Parliament passed the Factory Act, 1833, which stated that children under the age of 9 could not work. Children aged 9 through 13 could only work 8 hours a day, and children aged 14 to 18 could only work for 12 hours a day. Labor rights are a relatively new addition to the modern corpus of human rights. The modern concept of labor rights dates to the 19th century after the creation of labor unions. Following the industrialization process, Karl Marx stands out as one of the earliest and most prominent advocates for workers' rights. His philosophy and economic theory focused on labor issues and advocates his economic system of socialism, a society that would be ruled by the workers. Many of the social movements for the rights of the workers were associated with groups influenced by Marx, such as the Socialists and Communists. More moderate democratic socialists and social democrats supported workers' interests as well. More recent workers' rights advocacy has focused on the particular role, exploitation, and needs of women workers and of increasingly mobile global flows of casual service or guest workers.